Hey guys, Jason here. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the common tools that you would need to do residential and commercial locksmithing work. This is in relation to drills, drill bits, specialty tools, and I'm going to kind of show you what I carry. As you can see, I carry it in different kits, depending on what I need to take into a particular job to avoid having to carry one huge monster toolbox. In the back, I've got these 22-inch rigid organizers that I've done a video on. I've got my common bag that I use here to use for residential work. I've got smaller bags here with specific items in them. So I'm going to just go through them real quick to try to keep the video length down. First off, we've got a rivet gun. Everybody needs a rivet gun, hand rivet gun with different sizes of rivets. And the tools used to take apart the gun if it jams up. Here I've got a trim router. It is a cheap Harbor Freight trim router. I'm on my second one after 12 or 13 years. You'll notice on the base here, I cut the base to go along the edge of the jam, and all the extra bits and accompanying tools to take it apart. And with these items, I always have an extension cord, but I'll show you the other bag first. Dremel, kind of necessary. Jigsaw for working on aluminum doors, cutting holes and strikes on those. And an angle grinder. Again, a cheap Harbor Freight. You don't need a fancy angle grinder. You can get those at Harbor Freight for $15, and that one is about 10 years old. So with any of the electronic items, always you're going to have an extension cord. I use this roll-up kind. It's about 20 foot long, and it's got built-in circuit breaker protection. Probably not real high-tech circuit breaker protection, but at least it provides a little bit of a safeguard there. I'm going to go ahead and move all this out of the way, and we will move to fasteners. Now, with fasteners, you've got tons of different kinds organization needs. And here we have concrete drill bits, regular small drill bits, a case for my files. It's supposed to help retard rust, but it does not. And probes. You'll see that I use a lot of these Plano cases. They have an O-ring. This is screws for deadbolts, for if you're missing deadbolts or knob screws. We've got a supply of those. Specialty parts like Schlage tail pieces and drill bits. And you also have the need for different screws of all sizes. And this is one of just a few bags that I have. Different size screws, and that pretty much takes up a lot of room. You never know when you're going to get on a job and need a 8/32 screw with a pan head a certain length long. And these I meant to show you. These are my wood screw carriers. Typically, these go with me into jobs if I'm upgrading strike plates or installing missing strike plates. These just have different color finishes and styles of screws in them. So that does take up quite a bit of room in your stuff. In the back, we'll go over that. Let me go zoom in here. Two different kits. One of them is primarily a backup kit over here. It has an extra cordless drill in it, and it has various hole saws that are not as commonly used, and just accessory bits. Rubber mallet. I don't often need a rubber mallet, but it's there if I need it. And we've got a few spare chisels over here. And again, some more bits. This is my commercial steel door kit. I've got a quickset, old red quickset jig that is unmodified. I'll show you a modified one in a minute. And let's make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do here. We use 2 braces here for metal doors when I'm drilling installing a squeeze plate, a strike plate, or the latch. When I need to use the squeeze plate to install a latch on a metal door after I prepped it. Clamps and steel plates. It basically clamps the edge of the door closed, because when you use the mortising tool to form the latch mortise in a steel door so that the door will close, when you tighten this down, this goes on the inside of the door, this goes on the outside, and you tighten this down with a big wrench, and it has a tendency to bow the door open when you're doing that. So with these clamps on the door, it doesn't let it bow open. Provides a better finished installation. It only takes you bending one door and looking terrible for you to start using clamps. Just a backup hammer, a couple of chisels, a wire brush, some big screwdrivers, and a wrist breaking drill that I don't use. I try not to use it a lot because it's a wrist breaker. And the all-important safety glasses. Oh, just throw it down, dude. So really, if I'm doing this kit only comes out if I am installing a lock on a steel door. I did this in another video. You'll see I took the lid out here because this sticks up. Took the lid out. You'll see it in one of my previous videos. Gives you more room to hold stuff compared to the lid that's designed to seal these shut. And we're going to go ahead and move over to the bag that is in the back of my truck that I grab out literally every time I'm working on a house, to if it's missing strike plates, if I'm drilling and installing deadbolts, if I have out of alignment strike plates, this bag goes in with me. And here we'll see I just have some tamper-proof screwdrivers, some cutters used primarily for machine screws, drill bit sizes, just various tools in here. And okay, sorry about that. And I'm going to this little kit I can grab out of the bag if I need to just carry a few items. Right now I've just got some various drill bits and a screwdriver and a couple of Sharpies. We've got the drill. I hadn't switched to lithium yet. One day I will, but for now, that was a warranty, so they sent me the same kind. You'll see this is another red quickset jig. I've got this cut down so on residential wood doors, if there's molding or trim on the door, that 5-inch one will not work. For re-drilling holes, I only use this for re-drilling small holes where you have an 1.5-inch hole or a 2-inch hole and you got to have a 2 1/8. You pretty much have to have a jig of some kind to do that. To install fresh, where I'm just installing a deadbolt where there was not one previously, I simply use this little $6 piece of folded metal. I think A1 or Major makes it. Basically, you just put it on the edge of the door, take a pen and mark it on the back set that you have and the center of the door, and drill freehand. You don't really need a jig to do an install. Dustpan is very important to control the dust in a wood door installation. I use these Ceresto tins to carry different items such as driver bits, multi-hole saws, screwdriver bits, router bits, and screws. The common screws used in strike installations. Always missing screws in the house. Alright, we got a crowbar, which is not really meant to be in this bag. I don't know how it got in there, but I don't really carry that in this bag. I do carry the smaller pry bar. Kind of got to have one of these for aluminum frame doors that are jamming up. This comes in handy. And I learned this trick from my actual glass guy who works on aluminum doors. He carries that in his back pocket. Sometimes aluminum doors just need a little tweak. File for filing stuff, backup battery, two different 2 1/8" hole saws. The reason why I use two different ones, it really depends on the material. This has a wider kerf tooth, and this one is, it depends on the wood. If I got a hardwood, I'm going to use this one. If I have a softer wood, I'm going to use this one. This one kind of clogs up a little bit. Hammer and chisels. Pretty much the most important thing involved with installing door locks. If you're going to be putting in door locks, you kind of got to know your way around a hammer and chisel. You got to know your way how to keep a chisel sharp. It's pretty important. And different sizes. You saw some other chisels there. I use a 3/4 inch chisel. Ooh, see, it's freshly sharpened too. It'll cut you. And I keep this little 1/4 inch one for fine work that I need. But 3/4 inch chisel, even though strike plates are 1 inch wide, I don't like using an inch chisel. I like having to, just from doing it for so long, I prefer the 3/4 inch so that I have a little bit more control. That does make me tap it more than a 1 inch chisel, but I'm okay with that. That's how I do it. Pair of pliers. You've seen my videos on Nipex stuff. A hinge doctor, 4.5 inch for commercial hinges. It's a pretty important thing to have. Tape, excuse me, my throat's getting dry. Tape, gotta have painter's tape. This is just some bits and some hex wrenches. Kind of just a catch-all right now. One of those redundant things. Another couple of tins with different bits and stuff in them. Again, more bits. This is a high security set with the specialty security screws in it. You definitely need one of these kits. You never know when you're going to run up on an oddball. The 1 inch bit, you got to have a 1 inch bit. It goes with the 2 1/8 inch for installing. Flathead screwdriver. Cheap kit of bits. I bought this for like $4. So, you know, small bits. I keep them in here in case I need them. And another just bit set. Some Brad point bits, which really these are for specialty work. And that's it. You'll see that I'm cleaning out the box today. This is one of my recent installs. I've got an old deadbolt in here, paper towels, old deadbolt parts. All this is going in the scrap metal bin, and those tools will go right back in there, cleaned out, ready for next week. I don't think I missed anything, so if you have any questions, let me know, or if you want any specifics on any of these items. Again, there's a whole lot of other tools that are used in locksmithing work, but this is really what I go grab and have ready to go. This primarily takes care of 80% of the stuff, and then when you get into the specialty items, like metal installations, I go for one of the other kits. So again, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, any likes or subscriptions that you'd give me on the videos, and encourage me to keep doing the videos. So y'all have a good day, and we will catch you next time.